idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make you.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 179, Fatal Affair. This is the 2020 American psychological thriller streaming and exclusively on Netflix. So if you're looking for the movie, you can find it on Netflix. This is a review of the movie Fatal Affair. Just a quick note, because people keep asking, Terrence is fine. He's just taking some time. Somebody wrote, "Rest in peace, Terrence. Relax."
Yeah, no, he's not dead.
Calm down. He's not kicked off the show or anything stupid. No, we like Terrence. So
he's not like that other guy that's not here anymore.
No, Terrence is fine. He's just taking a break. All right. So again, this is the new thriller, new black thriller that's out. You people have asked for it, so here you go. First off, this is starring Nia Long and Omar Epps and Stephen Bishop. You may know Stephen Bishop from the last ridiculous thriller that we did. I don't even remember the name of it. I do remember it being really bad. Oh, Till Death Do Us Part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one, that was not good. Spoiler alert for this one. So this tells the story of Nia Long's character, who is a woman who runs into a guy she went to college with. She hadn't seen in like 20 years. And they have a rekindling of their relationship, so to speak. Even though she's married, she stops it before it goes any further. And this guy sort of wigs out and starts stalking her. Micah, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this modern masterpiece?
You know, these things are very hit and miss. And I mean, I almost fell out of my chair with the breeze from this miss of a movie. Like this didn't do it. This is so good as bad. It tries to be is so good as bad. Like I can't imagine that like Nia Long and Omar Epps think this was a good movie, right? Like
no, that's impossible. I refuse to believe that.
Right. I think Omar Epps was having fun.
Nia Long produced this, by the way. She co-produced it.
And I think that's why she's taking it way too seriously.
Yeah.
It is, it's not, yeah. It's not, this ain't it, yo. This ain't it. Like I need people to be like super ridiculous, right? Like I need this to be like a soap opera level. Whereas this is just like bad Lifetime. You know what I mean? Like this is it. You got all the elements. Right? Like, but it just doesn't hit. And I can't take Stephen Bishop as the straight guy. I can't take him as like the normal guy. There should have been two psycho black dudes.
That's what I thought. I agree with you. No, I don't think Stephen Bishop is a great actor, but I enjoyed his insanity in Till Death Do Us Part because he was ridiculous. Like he was ridiculous. Like it felt like he knew more of what he was supposed to do in that movie than in this movie.
Yeah. It just,
Evil Joe Budden.
I hate to typecast the dude, but like you're good at what you're good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, play a villain. Yeah, you play a villain.
Yeah, man. He shaved that facial hair and then he just became a nice guy. I'm like, nah. Yeah, the Omar Epps, I had fun with Omar Epps because Omar Epps is like, the nice guy, right? Yeah. Like, I'm just a nice guy, right?
Why won't you fucking call me back, you bitch?
Right. He's the guy that I imagine when Music Soul Child makes all them simp ass songs.
Crying at home alone.
Right. When he's like, wouldn't it be fly if you were my Buddy? Like that's that guy, right? Like that guy is singing that. We could be just friends, right? Knowing good and hell well, he don't want to be just friends. Like he wanna hit it, right? but like, you know, I imagine Music Soul Child is David Hammond, is what I'm saying.
No, that makes sense. I'm okay with that. Can you imagine being my Buddy? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, look, I agree with you on Stephen Bishop, obviously. I also agree Nia Long is being you're taking this role way too serious. I'm like, one, not take it down, take it up 40 notches, yo. Like, I need high pitched screaming on the beach as you're running away. Like, come on, like, insane. She's taking it way too serious. Omar Epps is out of his. Omar Epps is having a blast in this movie, and he is fucking nuts. Like, as somebody, I saw somebody compared him to like Batman, like that scene at the end where he just like raises his head. I was like, what is going on in this movie? It was very weird to me. This is not good. I don't know if that comes as a shock to anyone who's ever seen an actual movie. It's not good, but I think Omar Epps is having a good time. Like, I really do. I think he's often playing the sort of straight man or like the good guy, like in Higher Learning and things like that, right? Where this, he just gets to cut loose. And like villains are always kind of seemingly more fun, right? I mean, you can obviously tell from Stephen Bishop, like, transitioning to the good guy, it's like totally boring for him. I don't think the character's motivations made any sense, especially Nia Long, and I'll explain more what I mean as we get through it. But like, she says things and I'm like, I don't see any evidence of this at all. This is yet another just palette swap white thriller that's very obvious. That it was very
Warren.
Like, everyone they're clearly white characters, and they were just like, you think blacks will see it? Why don't we just put black people in it? Right? Why don't we just do that? And then they just palette swapped everybody in black. Like, culturally, there's nothing black about it. Not that it, necessarily needs to be like a hip hop soundtrack or anything. I don't mean it that way. But like, as a black person, you can watch this and go, no, this is not how black people don't behave like this, right? Also, black people eat more than salmon and steak, but that's just a side note. Like, whatever.
No, they don't, nigga. No, they don't. they eat salmon and listen to jazz while doing it. That's what black people do.
I mean, in fairness, I'm not helping my case. I just had salmon.
Like, of course you did, because you're black.
We do love salmon. But it's the one fish our people consistently all eat.
Right.
It's true. But
it's the one fish that black people think is fancy.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yo, salmon ain't that fancy, yo.
No, get some crab meat on it. Yeah, you doing something. Like, relax. Just fucking relax. And I don't know why you're laughing, nigga, because we've gone out to dinner together and I've seen you order that. So
nigga, I got salmon downstairs right now.
Yeah, of course you did.
I grilled it yesterday. We had it today.
See?
Fuck out of here.
You know what? I take everything I just said about the salmon steak thing back. I take it back. And I do love a steak. So there you go. These palette swap black thrillers, much like herpes, come around in a very systematic cycle. I'm saying, like, we get these about once every 6 months to a year. We get like The Perfect Guy, Till Death Do Us Part, When the Bow Breaks, like
No Good
Deeds. Like, we get all of these. It is kind of interesting. It's becoming its own little subgenre. They're all terrible, but I can't turn away. I will say I will watch all of them because they're all bad. They're all bad.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But they're all, like, and they're all different levels of bad, right? Like, you can have fun with one of these movies. Like, this is how watching one of these movies is not the right kind of bad. Right. It's my wife and I, she was super excited to watch this, right?
See? She was like, defrost the salmon, nigga. There's a black thriller on Netflix. We got shit to do.
And when we were watching it, when she gets into a movie, she's black. She's very animated if she likes it. And she wasn't like, we were just sitting there picking it apart. And while that's fun in its own right, like we were picking it apart, like, like
What are we doing?
you just introduced yourself as someone you just met, but then in the next scene you tell your girlfriend that you were old friends with this woman. Like that don't make like we're catching continuity errors in the movie, and we don't do that on first viewings.
Right,
We just like to sit and watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why does this nigga's license picture look like that? Like,
right? Why does he look so sinister? Yo, I burst out laughing. I rewound it and I paused it. I was like, why does it look like that? This dude is like, what the fuck? What is going on in this movie? It's like they were like, we need to make a fake license for this movie, Omar Epps. Please, like, give us your best stalker face. And he was like, all right, here it is. And they were like, snap, nailed it. His license doesn't need to portray that he's a crazy person. Like that's not a thing. Like that's very weird.
Yeah. Next time you go to the DMV, make sure you tell them to get my good side.
Yeah. Like why? Yeah. Why was it a side profile? It's like, all right, none of this makes any sense. So just as background before we get into the movie, which I thought was really quite funny. So I tell my wife, I'm like, cause she likes these stupid ass movies too, right? My mom calls me the other day and she's like, or texts me, she's like, have you seen this movie Fatal Affair? And I was like, no, we're getting ready to review it on the show. And she was like, oh, it was too scary for me. Like, I was like, okay, I heard this was horrendous. My mom must have made it 8 minutes into it and she was like, nah, fuck that, I'm out. So I tell my wife about this movie. I was like, oh, it's got Omar Epps, it's got Nia Long in it. But it's one of these like stupid thrillers. And she was like, nah, I'm good. So I'm watching this on my laptop, sitting on my bed with my headphones on, trying not to wake up the baby at 10 o'clock at night. This is how I'm enjoying this fucking masterpiece. Not even watching it on an actual television. And you know what? I gave it about as much attention as it deserved, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Good Lord. All right, so let's go through it. The movie opens with this couple, my least favorite porn, a white man and a black woman, making out in a house that just seems creepy. It's a single fireplace. You can't see anything else. They're sort of shadowed. They're making out heavy, I guess, and like this white dude needs a break, which is weird.
Why is the couch in front of the fireplace?
It's very odd.
like stuff like this is just like
why does it look so ominous? Everything looks fucking ominous. It's like she goes to get a glass of water. Spoiler alert. Did you think this woman looked like Nia Long, by the way?
Thank you. No, her friend is racist.
Right. She looked a lot like you. I was like, I had to think back. I was like, the woman in the beginning? She looks literally nothing like Nia Long. She actually looks like, what's the woman from Reno 911?
She looks like a cross between Niecy Nash and this other actress. I can't remember her name. She was in Baller. She played that big dude's wife.
Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And
but she looks nothing like Nia Long.
Right.
She's 3 shades lighter than her. All right. Yeah, white people drive me crazy. We don't all look alike. God damn. Even in the script, they were, I don't know. It's because again, it was written for white people. They were just like, just get one blonde and another blonde. Who gives a fuck? So this white guy's like, oh, so this is a lot of heavy petting. I'm gonna need a break. And so his black girlfriend's like, all right, cool, I'll go get some water to help your punk ass out. So she goes and gets some water. She comes back and he's gone. And she's like, I don't know, Todd or Jared or whatever his name is. She's looking around for him. And and she doesn't find him, like, we're in front of the ominous couch on the fireplace, in front of the fireplace. And then she goes into the bathroom, and she hears the bath run. She's like, oh, he must be in there. And, you know, some sexy time in a bath, which is not sexy because water is not a lubricant.
Right. Water is a solvent, not a lubricant.
I need movies and TV to knock it off. Do you have silicone based lube? If you don't, this is not a good time that's about to happen to you. You're about to be real dry real fast. Terrible idea.
Movies and TV got my wife fucked up.
No, they got you fucked up. No, shit don't work.
Because it's like, yo, this ain't happening, yo.
Like, come on, let's do it in the shower. Like, nah, yo. Do we have any silicone based lubricant? Hello. I highly recommend buy it. You can get it online. Then you can do all the things you want to do. So she goes in, she sees him in the bathtub. She walks in, and like every one of these dumb thrillers, they have to walk right up on someone to realize that it's a dead body, Dexter style. He's laying in like a pool of blood, and then she screams, and a hand comes around her mouth and pulls her into the shadows. Credits. Fatal affair. So then we see Nia Long driving, and she arrives at her house. It's a very nice house. Her name is Ellie. Again, you really black woman Ellie. All right, sure. Black woman Ellie shows up to her house. It's newly bought, just outside of San Francisco. Her and her husband just moved there. Her husband played by Stephen Bishop, named Marcus. And this house is insanely nice, by the way.
Yeah, these people must be billionaires because it is incredibly expensive to live in that city. And this house with a private beach is phenomenal. Like they live in like Monterey or some shit.
Right. I've been to Monterey. God damn. Like, yeah, it's beautiful. Now, Stephen Bishop, playing the role of Marcus, is the nice guy, right? He's the nice husband. I would just like to say what's the lowest number imaginable? Because that's where their chemistry is at. Whatever the highest negative number you can think of, that's their chemistry level. It is unbelievably non-existent between these two actors.
And in the beginning, right? Like in the beginning, it's kind of meant to be that way, right?
Sure.
Because it's the impetus for why she does something unforgivable in my eyes. And but after the fact, you would think, oh, okay, well, I'm going to try and be, have a little more
loving
something.
Right.
It don't work. Yeah.
No, there's nothing. I love having the subtitles on because at one point she's staring in the mirror, looking at her ring, and it's like somber string music playing. So at this point, it kind of fast forwards tonight, and their chemistry is zero. It fast forwards, she's looking at her wedding ring as she's getting married and or getting ready for bed, and she takes her jewelry off when going to bed, which is weird. But okay.
I'll take my ring off going to bed.
Do you really?
Yeah. I put it on when I wake up, but I take it off going to bed.
Wow. That's funny. I never take my ring off. Do you take it off when you take a shower?
When I get up, I don't put it on until after I'm done.
Wow. That's crazy. No,
you keep a watch on?
No, I don't wear a watch. I haven't worn a watch in a while. No, but
you don't wear a watch, period. But okay.
No, I used to. It broke and then I just never get it fixed.
I take my watch and my ring off.
That's weird. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess I love my wife. Whatever. With a dirty ring. I mean, I guess that's how it goes, right? So they go to sleep, right? And the whole idea is like they're not connected, right? Like he's asleep already, and she looks at him longingly, like, oh, I wish I could get some of that, but I guess not. I'm like, tap that nigga on the shoulder, he'll wake up. You're Neil Long. You tie it? Not anymore. I'm not. I'm good. Did you buy the silicone-based lubricant or no? All right, I guess we'll stay in the bed. So it's like, oh, they're sad, right? She's sad. He's asleep. Whatever. The next day, we see Ellie. That name is very white. We see Ellie hanging out with her friend Courtney is her name, right?
Yep.
And they're two lawyers, two black women lawyers, doing their thing in the city. They work for two different law firms. And Courtney's like, "Hey, why don't we go out tonight? I need to get my flirt on with some men, and I need my wing woman with me." And Ellie's like, "No, I'm gonna go home. Be with Marcus. Everything is great. We're gonna go live in our $1 billion house. My life is so sad, I guess." And so she's like, "Look, just call me. I'm not going to take no for an answer." Right. And she's like, "All right, just fucking all right." So then we see Ellie go to her law firm. Courtney goes to hers. Right. Ellie walks into a meeting, and she's introduced, to, this gentleman, who is basically a hacker. And, she's like, "Oh, this is."
So you know what that means, right? When you're a hacker in a bad movie, you know what that means, right?
You can apparently do everything?
Yeah, that means you're a technomancer. That means you can anything.
Kung fu expert, I would argue. Why does this nigga know martial arts? Like, why was that a part of his story? He watches enough anime? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was really weird. So what's weird in this scene is she's walking towards her boss, Janice. Janice is like, "Ellie, I want to introduce you to our, this tech consultant that we hired for this case, blah, blah, blah. Ellie, whatever, this is David Hammond." David, I guess to me, Ellie is such an uncommon name for a black woman that if I was David and someone was like, "Hey, this is Ellie," I would be like, I wonder if it's an Ellie that I know, because there are no other Ellies in, like, how, that's not a common name.
In existence. There are no other Ellies in existence. The only other Ellie that I've ever heard of is from a game called The Last of Us.
Okay, I was going to say, isn't that from that game? Yeah.
That's literally the only other time I've heard the word Ellie as a name for someone.
Right. So he never turns around until she's like, "David, this is Ellie." And he's like, oh my God. "Oh my God, how are you? Oh my God, I haven't seen you. Oh my God, it's been 20 years. And they have this fucking chummy, very obvious flirtation, which it's like, you married, right? Like, people can see you. Like, it's a little weird. And this is the point in the movie where I'm like, all right, I guess as Stephen Bishop, I gotta come into your office like a madman with a baseball bat and be the crazy nigga on the other side. That's how I would play it, but that's me. So you kind of find out that, again, David is this hacker or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I can't get over how good you look," and she's like, "Oh, it's been 20 years." He's like, "It looks like it's been 20 minutes." I'm like, all right. Again, who wrote this line? Who wrote it?
A white person.
Right. Is there a mirror in my pocket? You've been walking around all day in my whatever that fucking dumb joke is. Basically, it's the same as this stupid 20-minute joke. It's dumb. So anyway, like they're flirting and he's like, "Hey, why don't we go out to, get some lunch or go out to dinner?" No, this is unacceptable to me. This guy is super flirting, as I see it, as I am the Stephen Bishop character right now. In my perspective, this guy's flirting with my wife. He's touching my wife's hair. I feel like a bat signal would be going off in my head. I'd be driving from fucking Monterey into San Francisco to whoop this dude's ass. That's just me. It's a little too close.
I mean, he doesn't technically, he doesn't know anything yet, because Ellie is being a bad wife and not communicating with her spouse. You see, that's one of the keys to a successful marriage is open and honest communication.
She didn't mention her husband right away, which is the move that I do when I talk to anybody who I think is flirting with me. I'm like, "Yeah, me and my wife. Just so I don't run into you in a store and you be like, 'I didn't know you were married.'" Nah, fuck that. Nope.
Exactly.
Not
And
trying to
if
have that
women
conversation.
if women were attracted to me enough to flirt with me, I would do the same thing.
Fair enough. Shut the fuck up. If that ever happened to me.
Nah, yo. Nah. Look, can men and women be friends?
Yes. Yes.
People that you're attracted to.
How attractive? How attractive? I don't know. When Harry Met Sally is my favorite movie of all time, so I am one to believe that this is not a possibility. No, it's not a possibility. No, it's not. You know what? No, I'm not hedging on that. It's not a possibility. If you want to fuck the other person, no, you cannot be friends because you're just dick under glass. That's the Chris Rock bit. You're just dick under glass. No, fuck that. Get away from my wife. No. Mm-mm. Nah. Mm-mm. Nah.
Look, I agree.
No, you just gotta stay away, dude. I have definitely met women who I like since I've been with my wife that I vibe with. I'm like, oh, this person, like, if I was single, like, yeah, I'd probably ask them out. I keep a distance, man. Nah, fuck that. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Because anybody can make a mistake. No, don't put yourself in a situation. Nope.
Right. That's all you got to do.
Come up to my hotel room and I can't do that.
But the dumb male ego, right? Like,
Nope.
is like, oh, I still got it, right?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. And, like, you can't help that because, like, if you get flirted with, you're like, oh, okay, all right. Big Daddy still got it. I see it. Yeah. And I have that moment for, like, 13 seconds, and I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Fuck you doing?
Yeah, cut that shit out.
Cut it out, nigga. And then I'm like, yeah, me and my wife this weekend, yo, we getting into it. We going out with my baby, with my little 1-year-old baby. We gonna go do something as a family. Let me tell you the story. Like, nah, yo, fuck that. No. But yeah, some niggas always want to know if they still got the juice. Like, nah. Give me 13 seconds. I feel good about it, and I'm out. that's all I need. But not old Ellie. She tells David that she's going on a ladies' night with her girl Courtney, but invites him along. No, it's a ladies' night. The fuck you inviting this big head nigga for?
Right. How would that make Courtney feel? You know good and hell well Courtney is there to find her a man, to land her some dick, some easy dick.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be the wingman, the wing person, or whatever you say.
Wing woman, I guess. That's not a thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, you don't bring. I've never seen Top Gun. I can't imagine that Goose brought another plane with him when he and Maverick went out to do their Top Gunning or whatever they do.
I mean, as many people know, Goose is the one who lived. Maverick died.
Right. Because at the end of the movie, right? At the end of the movie, they all got in their planes and went to the club, right?
That's what they do at the end. They all go clubbing at the end of Top Gun. You guys ready? Let's get the fuck out of here. So Courtney cancels, and she's like, oh, I got this brief I got to work on. Sorry. And of course, she's already there. Like, when Ellie finds out, she's already at the bar. So she can't call David and be like, nah, my girl bounced. I'm going to go home. So like David's there. He's like, hey, I got a booth for us. I'm like, nigga, calm down. Like, why do you have a booth for us? Like, I don't want to sit with just the two of you. Get the fuck out of here. But he's really excited because he's a hacker, so he's a dork. And so he's like, oh, I got a booth. And she's like, oh, Courtney can't make it. She got caught up. And he's like, oh, well, I guess it'll be just you and me. And he like puts his hand on her back. And I'm like, yo, why isn't Stephen Bishop already there beating this guy into the ground? Nah, yo, fuck that. And so again, he's touched your wife twice. Unacceptable. They go into this back room, and they get some drinks, and just drinking wine. And they're talking, and she is divulging way too much information on the first time seeing this dude in 20 years. Oh, she had the perfect marriage, the perfect husband, the perfect daughter. All this shit's perfect. But then she woke up and it was like sleeping next to a stranger. This is the one no, that's not true. This is one of the major things I had issue with in this movie.
Mhm.
The-
I don't feel sorry for Ellie in the slightest. Look, I know money isn't everything, but you living in Monterey, California. You got to cross that big fancy bridge that separates the pores of California from y'all, right? Like
Right.
it is like you have a very good life, and it's. I'll give this movie something. I'll give this movie a little bit of credit. You usually don't see women put in this situation where it's the woman who not necessarily initiates. The woman is screwing up in this situation, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's normally the guy.
yeah, normally it's the guy, right? And in this case, the dude is like the hoe trying to wreck the home, right?
Right.
And so I'll give the movie a little bit of credit, I guess.
I mean,
don't know.
it's subverting a narrative. That's fair.
Right. But just like when men do it, I don't feel sorry for Ellie Warren either. Get out of here, man.
No, I don't. But the thing that really bugs me about her behavior is she says, she woke up like the crux of the problem with her relationship with her husband, with Marcus, is that she woke up and it was like being next to a stranger. There's nothing in the movie that implies that except for like, oh, he's asleep. He's asleep, and then, you come in and you're already asleep, and I guess it's like they don't have any intimacy or whatever. But this nigga's asleep because he's taking a bunch of pills because he got into a car accident. He got into a car accident.
You don't know that. You don't know that. And didn't you see the framing of the bed shot, right? Like of the one sleeping all the way on one end and the other sleeping all the way on the other end? First of all, if that's the case, maybe me and my wife need to see a marriage counselor, because that's how that's how I sleep, clinging to the edge.
For dear life.
Meanwhile, my wife just whatever.
I have the same problem because I have a king size bed, and it's really nice not to have somebody laying on top of your fucking forehead all night. Yeah. Sorry. I'll tell you right now, all you young people out there, oh, we cuddle all night. I don't get it. And you're lying. You're lying.
Yeah. You get hot.
One of you cuddles, the other one is fucking miserable all night.
Right. The other one is sweating.
Yeah, no.
Out of here, yo.
No, we used to have a queen size bed. We upgraded. I was like, end of this.
We got a queen size bed in her guest room / office that we used to sleep in, and we got ourselves a nice purple mattress, king size, because I couldn't take it anymore.
I'm not a huge guy, but I love a king size mattress. Get the fuck out of here. It's great.
It makes you feel like a little kid getting out of bed again. Like it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So I guess them in their 40,000 thread sheets on their king size bed, really living a life of tragedy. These two fucking multimillionaires. Get out of here. So they leave the place that they were at. I forgot about this scene. They leave the place that they're at, and she's like, "Oh no, I don't want any more to drink." If we have another drink here, people are going to start to talk. So, obviously the natural setting to go so that people don't see them hanging out and drinking is to go to a club where they're doing shots at the bar, and it's like a dance club, like a nightclub. I would just, for people like actually watching the movie or have watched the movie, I just want people to recognize that everyone in the background is white as fuck and nobody can dance. Like, it's absolutely hilarious. They're just swaying like in the most odd, like trying to do a two-step or some shit. It's just fucking funny to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what these white people are even doing. It's hilarious. The music, it's so funny. Nobody knows how to dance. No one knows what to do with their arms. It's just awkward. It's just super awkward. The music is also bad. It's also like very white, but like whatever. That's in the side. So they at one point they're out there dancing and they like play. I forget what the song is, but they play like a really familiar song to them back from college. But they're like staring into each other's eyes, like they are about to kiss. Like I'm like, wait, is this the part where you're supposed to not be noticed? Like, because it seems like you're about to fuck each other on the dance floor. And then so Ellie stops it short, and she's like, no. And then she runs into the bathroom. Her body was telling her no, or her mind was telling her no, but her body was also telling him no, because R. Kelly is a rapist. So she runs into the bathroom. David runs in, which is not acceptable. And he just starts kissing her. At first I thought he attacked her, because it was not sexy, in the beginning at all. It felt violent. But then, they start making out or whatever. And, he puts her up on the counter and they start going forward. As Nia Long has gotten older, she has gotten thicker, and I am okay with that. She looks great.
Yeah.
She looks great in this movie.
I am very, very okay with it.
Yeah, she looks amazing.
She looks phenomenal. And, which is, half the reason why I was able to sit through this movie. Like she looks way too fine to be with Omar Epps, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like that's true. I feel like that's very accurate.
He's way too fine for her to be succumbing to Omar Epps.
She's 49.
Yeah.
Wow, she looks great.
She'll be 50.
She looks wonderful. Women should be so lucky to look as good as she does at almost 50 years old. Frankly, anyone, to be honest. But she's also a multimillionaire, I assume. So it's a little bit easier, I guess. So as David is about to raw dog it in the bathroom, again, I'm going to need movies to not promote this. Like, this is not a good idea. So you get
That's
COVID.
Gross, yo. That's gross, yo. That's
Yeah,
gross.
like, all right, she's real hot. I'd be like, hey, man, this is getting real hot and heavy. We should definitely stop by a convenience store so I can get a 3-pack and go to a hotel where I can have sex with you on a bed.
Yeah, let's just get out of the shitter.
Yeah, I don't need to fuck in the bathroom.
How about we get out? How about we leave the place that smells like vomit and piss and number 2?
Yeah.
How about that?
It's a bathroom, my nigga. Like, it's a bathroom. It's not even your bathroom. It's a bathroom. Gross. No thanks. So just as Dave's about to raw dog it, Ellie says no. I cannot do this.
Waits. She takes her drawers off.
Right, yo, come on, yo, God. Look, hold on a second. On this side, yo, you can't wait that long. I'm not saying like you can't say stop. That's not what I'm saying. Like, yo, come on, man.
I just found it funny. Look, no is no.
Right, 100%. I got no problem with that. But I'm like, yo, this dude's like, this dude's dick is out. Like, he is just like, let's go. She's like, no. I was like, oh, come on. Yeah, she just, I mean, the forever blue balls. Like, this dude was 2 millimeters from the promised land, and she was like, nope. Sorry. Which is funny.
That's just the hater in me. That's just the hater in me, right? Like, because I hate nice guys like this, right? Like, but yo, I just found
nice guys in quotes,
right? I just found that hysterical.
She was like, no, I'm afraid not. He was like, oh, God damn it. He was so close, so close. And so she's like, nah, I can't. And so she runs out of there. She doesn't, by the way, he keeps the panties. She doesn't even get the panties back. She just fucking straight bounces. And so she just runs and she's like, my car's here. And she gets in an Uber and fucking jets out of there and goes home. Meanwhile, the entire time she's thinking about how she almost fucked Marcus and is like getting totally turned on by it. She gets home and Marcus is asleep. And And, once again, she feels really bad, and she's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go to bed and not think about it. She wakes up the next day and goes out to her fucking private beach, where she contemplates, her life and does some morning yoga and looks guilty as fuck. She looks like a woman who definitely just fucked someone besides her husband the night before, because that's what you do when you contemplate on the beach, in your $1 billion home. She then goes into work, on her last day, because she was quitting that job to open her own law firm, I guess, to start her own law firm in Monterey, a smaller one, so she's not stressed. And I guess David, almost getting his dick wet, really turned it on for her so that she could start fucking her husband. Because, Marcus is getting all the... Marcus and Ellie are having their own fucking Cialis commercial. Yo, these these sunset fucking dances they're doing on the beach. I was so shocked that they didn't just have them in two separate tubs overlooking the water at a certain point. This shit was ridiculous to me.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, what the fuck? This guy he's getting all the benefits. David had to do the club dance and get her to do some shots. That's all she needed. And now Marcus is he's getting the Cialis dances. He's getting fucked in the shower. Yeah, things are good. I would be a little suspect. I'd be like, you weren't trying to touch me 9 minutes ago. You went out with Courtney one time, and now all of a sudden, I'm getting all this play. The fuck is happening? You're going to have to explain something to me. This shit is a little weird. It's a little weird. Then we cut to David in a counseling meeting with a psychologist, I guess. And she's like, oh, how are things going? And he's like, oh, it's great. I'm seeing someone. Our life is good. And she's like, huh. And how are your anger issues with Deborah? And he's like, I told you I was over that. He immediately switches to his Batman role, right? He's been Bruce Wayne all the way up until this point. And you find out he had to go to a psychologist because he had a court-ordered anger issues. And he's supposed to be playing sort of kind of twitchy at this point. And he's like, why do you keep bringing that up? I am the knight, and it's just a little weird.
It's not good because his twitchy thing is just his head nod, and he just kind of keeps doing this.
Right.
Yo, come on. You're better at acting than this.
Right.
Aren't you?
You used to be. You used to be. So then we cut to a scene of Ellie and Marcus's daughter coming home, and she's been away at college. I don't remember her name.
Her name is Brittany Warren.
Ellie and Brittany. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This is not a palette swap thriller. Okay. Again, there's no chemistry between the parents and the kid. None. Zero. Brittany goes out. She goes out and she's on the Cialis beach. Her mom comes over and is checking in on her, and she says, "Oh yeah, it's nice to see you not working at this law firm, and you seem so relaxed, Mom." And she's like, "Yeah, I can breathe now. It's really great. Yeah, I've been fucking your dad a lot. It's been great. It's been wonderful." Then we see a scene where Ellie goes back into town. She goes to see Courtney, and they hang out, and David just pops up. He's like, hey, sorry about that other night. My bad. I've been texting you. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I noticed you haven't been calling me back or returning my phone calls. Fuck you then, bitch. Because he's this close, by the way. He's this close to the Baltimore fuck you then bitch. But he starts he's nice guying her down, right? It's that craziness.
And it's the classic nice guy, like incel nice guy shit, right? Like
Right.
it's that movie. This movie gets that down to a T with him.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, who was the actual nice guy? Was it Peter Sullivan, the director, or was it like Omar Epps? Because he's very good. He's very good at playing this role. But yeah, it's times like this where like you could be more creative, right? Like if he's gonna play like twitchy, right? Like do it in times like this,
right in front of her.
Right in front of her when he's in, you know, because he can't control it, right? Like how funny would it be? Like that's what I mean by, like, you got to turn this up, man. You got to get this rolling. You got to bring the crazy, man. You got to bring the crazy quick.
I feel like Michael Ealy in Perfect Guy. That's the level I'm looking for.
Yeah.
He was great. Like he was great in that fucking silly ass movie, but he was great in it.
This is a relationship.
Yeah, we started grinding his finger onto the fucking table. I was like, yo, you need to relax, my nigga. You need to calm your light-skinned ass all the way down. But yeah, he was really into it. Like he was enjoying playing that role. And Omar Epps is definitely enjoying it, but I agree, like the writing is hampers it. It's really funny because he's like talking to her, and they're standing in the middle of the street, and this guy keeps honking his horn, and I thought this was going to be the moment, right? And he's like, hold on a second, and then the second time the guy honks, he's like, quiet that horn, you know, you son of a bitch, or some shit like that. And then I was like, and she pulls off. She's like, look, I'm married. There's no us. Like, fuck out of here. I'm out. And she drives away, and the guy honks again. I was like, oh, he got to kill him.
Like, right. Like you talk about all these anger management issues, yo, like let that shit creep out, man. Like have him pick up a rock and throw it at the car or some shit, right? Like,
or like punch the glass and just like break the window or something. I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That would have been dope. Like I would have been here for that. But they didn't go the extra mile. You know what? I hate to say this, but like this movie, like as like a base, you could do some like interesting rewrites of this movie that would make it work a lot better, I think. One, the character dialogue needs to be completely redone. Like nobody talks like these people. Like it's weird. Like they don't talk like other human beings. It's just like three robots in a room. It's very strange. So anyway, so she drives home, and again, she's just like, I cannot stop fucking my husband. While, you know, after having it rekindled by Marcus, like, you know, and you know, again, or rekindled by David. Again, Marcus is like, this is great. It's like, this is awesome. He's like, 1, I get to sleep with Nia Long. 2, I get to sleep with 49-year-old Nia Long, which this seems better. I think Nia Long might be even hotter to me now than she was back then, and she was super hot then.
Absolutely,
yeah. So again, they're fucking.
They're having sex in their house on their private beach, and with all the windows open. Look, I don't give a fuck how secluded your area is. I don't care if you got all of the Pacific Ocean, like apparently they do, behind them. Close your windows, lock your doors, yo. Like we got there's a rash of like car break-ins in my neighborhood, and that I get through the Ring app, and people are like, "Oh, my car was broken into. My car was broken into. I left the doors unlocked, and they went through my stuff." And I'm, whoa, what?
Why do you do? That seems to be a thing with white people. Why do you leave your door unlocked of your car? Why? Lock your door. I hit the chirp every time.
And I keep my car in my garage.
Right, yeah. Right, like, no. That's so weird to me. I can't believe people breaking into cars. I can't believe you left the door open.
Right. Is it a break-in?
No.
Is it?
No, that's not even a break-in. They just did what you do. They just didn't have the keys to start it up and drive it off. That's the only difference.
But they're sleeping with the window open, and yeah, fucking Batman comes around and wearing all black, and he's there in the subtitles as he's watching them from the beach. The subtitles say sinister music.
Yo, he looks crazy. I gotta tell you, man, I refuse to give credit to anybody when it comes to the stalker doing their stalker thing over Joe from You. Like, his stalking is not up to par. Like, I need internal dialogue. I need to know his motivation as to why he's doing it, why he thinks he's the right one for her. That's what I need. So the next day, Marcus, just high on Nia Long pussy vibes, he drives into work and he's like, I brought you flowers. I brought you a coffee. And she's like, oh, thank you. That's great. And she makes some joke about, the coffee being all right. And he's like, this is nectar of the gods. And then he basically was like, why don't we give this desk a try? Like, this dude is like, I'm back. Like, let me fuck you on your work desk with the front door of your business wide the fuck open. Look, I get
and your secretary 15 feet away.
Look, he like, look, just don't scream. Just relax. Yeah, I mean, like, he's like, I thought for a second that he was like, no, for real. Like, we tried to do this. Like, he wasn't kidding. Like, I think he was gonna go for it. Again, he's drunk off of what happened last night. She tells him that Courtney is coming over for dinner. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll make dinner, steak or salmon. And of course she says salmon.
Of course, because she's black.
Because black. That's right. And you come to find out that their daughter, Brittany, is having a boy over, who has the worst haircut I've ever seen.
Yeah, he looked like The Rock when he first got into the WWE.
That little fucking
just got a mop on his head.
Yeah, like a Swiffer mop. Like, get out of here. You look ridiculous. And he's like, I'm here to pick up your daughter. And Marcus is like, I'm Marcus, FBI. I was like, this is the worst line I've ever heard.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb. And so Brittany comes and she's like, Dad, I'm going to go out with him. And I'd have been like, him? Like, you're a cute girl. You can't do better than this dork. Jesus. See who your mother is? Your mother's Nia Long. You can do better than this. So she goes out with this boy. Spoiler alert for later. They just treat that character, that kid, they treat him like shit.
He was there for one reason and one reason
Right.
only.
I was like, yo, what kind of slasher film shit is this? So Courtney comes over for dinner. She's like, hey, sorry about the last minute addition. I brought a date, and it's David. And David is doing something that I don't approve of. I don't care for a suit with a turtleneck.
I was about to say the same thing.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Look right. It don't look right at all.
It don't look right. The only time I'm going to accept the turtleneck, you got to have a chain on. Like, I feel like you got to have a chain on. You look cooler if you have a chain on, but you also look like a nigga. So, you got to pick one. Like, you can look cool and look like a nigga, or just don't wear a turtleneck. Also, it's in Monterey, my nigga. Like, it's probably hot.
You can look cool and look like a nigga, but you would look like a cool nigga from like 1986.
Right.
Like, that ain't gonna work, yo. That ain't gonna work.
Right.
You can wear a suit with a collar. You can wear a suit with no collar. A suit jacket with no collar. You can't wear a suit jacket with all of the collar.
Right. Just collars stacked on top of collars. Nah, yeah, don't do that.
Now he introduces him when they come in. He shakes Ellie's hand and says, "Hey, nice to meet you."
Right.
Just remember that for later on.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, that whole conversation with Courtney later is bonkers. Like,
Just
Courtney's a
remember that.
dummy. Like, she's a dumb
Courtney is
character.
kind of dumb.
So
Let me ask you a question. Does white wine go with everything?
no, white wine goes with fish.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, if you're drunk, white wine goes with anything as alcohol. Who cares?
He says white wine goes with everything.
That's not true.
I don't know what white wine goes with.
Fish. I guess chicken you could do. Some pork.
Okay. So
Yeah.
white wine and salmon is okay.
Yeah, white wine and salmon's fine. So is red wine and salmon. So is beer and salmon. So is anything you want. Who cares?
Yeah, because it's salmon.
It's hilarious because he says white wine, and they're drinking red wine and beers. So fuck it. Like, whatever. Hey, I brought wine. You're gonna drink it? No, fuck your wine. Okay, cool, thanks. I'm glad I brought it. They're drinking a generic New England lager, it looks like. Ellie goes in. God damn, Neil Long looks super good. Ellie goes into the house to get dessert, and David, he's like, "Oh, I'll help you," and he goes in with her, and she's like, "Nigga, are you crazy? What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "Well, you return my calls, so this is why I'm here." And he's like, "We could be together. Your secret is safe with me." She's like, "There is no secret. Like, well, there's a secret, but like, there's no secret. Like, relax." And he tries to touch her hand, and she flips out and all this other stuff. And she gets pretty strong and kind of brave, and she's like, "Make an excuse that you got to leave and get the fuck out of here, and I never want to see you again." And he was like, "Okay." I would have just walked right. If I was David, I'd just walk right out there and be like, "Hey, by the way, I almost fucked your wife in a bathroom, and I have proof."
Yeah, but see, you gotta think like a nice guy psycho, right? Like, because he's all about making this relationship work while she's still married to this dude, right? Like, he even says it. He was like, "Yo, this could work. I've thought about it.
Right.
We can still be together while you're married to, fucking nice guy Joe Budden." And then she's like, "Nah." But look, so he goes along with the poor excuse of because he still thinks that he can
make it work.
claim this woman. He can make it work.
I've never seen somebody. Wow. Sorry, I was just watching her run down the beach. Anyway, one, running on the beach is insanely hard. It's insanely hard.
It is.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. But I've never seen someone more unbelievably oblivious to what is going on with their wife than Marcus. She comes out of the house back onto the deck where they were having dinner, and David is like, "Oh, I've got to go. I've got to do this thing. I got to send this report." So him and Courtney leave, and she's like, Ellie is so like stressed and all this other stuff. And Marcus is like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He's like, "Oh, okay, great." I'd be like, "You just walked into the house with a strange dude, and now you're coming back looking all like crazy and stressed." I feel like, no, what happened? Ask a question. He's just like, "No, it's fine. Whatever. I get it. I got the crib notes. It's fine. It's fine." Then we see Nia Long jogging on the beach, looking as attractive as ever. And then we cut back to the
bead of sweat on Nia Long.
No, Nia Long doesn't sweat.
No, not one bead.
No, she's fine. She's fine. God damn, she looks super good. She really does, man. She really looks great. I was just gonna be crass. Anyway, I like thick thighs. Anyway, so she gets back to her house, and there is a gift waiting for her. And she opens it, and it's I forget what the album is. It's a song that was playing the night her and David almost fucked each other. And so she oh yeah, it was Forget Me Nots. That's a great song, by the way. Great song.
Yeah.
her daughter walks in. And she's like, "Oh, is this one of those records from back in the day? Wow, Mom, this isn't even on Spotify." And she's like, "This is a classic song." And she's like, "You've never heard this song. Please get away from me, you fucking child."
She's like, "Do you remember Men in Black when Will Smith had that song? This is where he got that from."
Oh, I remember that. Ugh, gross.
Sit your young ass down.
Yeah, you're 12. You're 12.
Get
Shut
out
up.
of here.
I mean, she should have done the old black people thing that we do with music when we know young people don't know anything about this. We all of us say, "What you know about this? You don't know nothing about this," which is true. They generally don't. So we cut to a restaurant where David is, and Ellie walks in. I just want people to pay attention to the chef in the background who is
losing control of what he is doing. He does not have any type of control over this flambe.
Yeah, but no, he does not. But that's all they have him doing the whole time is just like flambe. He'll do nothing else. It's the same motion every time. It's like the white people in the club. They're just like swaying ever so gently back and forth. So Ellie goes and sees David at this restaurant. And she's like, "Look, this is not gonna work. You seduced my friend. You showed up at my house. Basically, you crossed the line. Go fuck yourself. Leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. Here's your goddamn record. Suck my dick from the back." And she breaks out, and David gets so mad he fucking snaps the fucking record in half, which probably isn't that easy to do. But yeah, that's how pissed he was. The guy continues to flambe, and then we cut back and we see Marcus being an architect. But he's so good at it. He's just so good. He's stressing. Micah, this could have been your life. You could have been this guy.
I wanted to be an architect, and that's not just like because we do a Seinfeld podcast. Like, I wanted to be an architect.
Yeah, but instead you became a latex salesman for vandalism.
Nia Long's character needs to tell her husband, like right now, right? Like,
yeah,
right
this
now.
dude is like straight up stalking you at this point.
Right. Like, you need to tell your husband what the hell is going on.
Yeah. Because if I found out, one, I'm going to fuck this dude up first and foremost. And then second, you and I are going to have a real come to Jesus meeting, as they say. Because I'm pissed.
Right.
Ellie goes back to the office where an irate Courtney comes in and starts yelling at her, saying that David told her everything. And of course, David has told her the exact opposite of what actually happened. Now, this is the conversation you were talking about, where Courtney is just the dumbest friend ever.
No. This isn't the conversation I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
The thing I'm talking about is a little later.
Oh, okay. Well, Courtney is the dumbest friend ever because Courtney, for some reason, believes without a shadow of a doubt that David is telling the truth because he showed her this man that she just met at a club or whatever, wherever they met, versus her supposedly like very good friend. Well, not only that, but she believes like text messages, and even Ellie's like, "You just met this dude. He told you he's a hacker, and now you're going to believe just random shit you see on the phone." That is the smartest thing I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like, the fact that the character, well, I guess not really smart, because like you can't like call yourself out on your dumbness, right? Like, that doesn't make you smart, but it shows the character as intelligent, right? Like, he's like, wait a minute. You're going to believe this guy that you just met, who we both sat down and heard him say he's a professional hacker. You're going to believe him over me? That is one smart thing in this dumb movie that I will give it credit for. I'm going to undercut that. I'm going to undercut it right now. Here's the text message you sent. Bitch, here's my phone with proof going the other way. Why didn't you just show her your phone, Just show her your phone. You show her your phone. It was showing. There's a contradiction.
She might have. She blocked the number, and as we all know, when you block a number, all of the text messages just disappear.
I guess
when you block the contact.
Then we see a scene of David. He's watching from outside. He's watching from outside, and he sees her talking to Courtney, and he's like, "Oh, fucking, I gotta take her down." And then we get a flash of David's license. Yo, this picture is so good, man. This is like the license shows up at like 42 minutes and like 20 seconds or something. No, this is hilarious to me. It's hilarious. But yeah, he's looking super grimacing. He's got like one eye's looking real devilish. The other eye is slightly askew, which is weird. Yeah, this picture is hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, this picture is as a person who like Omar Epps suffers from a case of the sleepy eyes, you got to be a little more discerning with your photo, especially if the DMV is allowing you to take like quarter side profile shots and shit. Like, I understand they don't want you to smile or whatever, but
he looks like a straight up crazy person. I just love this.
This shit looks ridiculous.
Oh shit, that might be my profile picture on Facebook. It's too good. So from there, so she's looking up information. Somehow she finds his college transcripts, his certificate of marriage. Yo, this is some mad invasion of privacy bullshit. Like, yo, this is PII. Like, you can't just take, like, this is a HIPAA violation. Like, this is a serious problem. She's just breaking into all his shit. Is she a professional hacker? How does she get all of his information?
Well, she's a lawyer.
LexisNexis that shit, I guess. What the fuck?
She uses her lawyer intranet.
Yeah, let me just Google David Hammond fucking personal files. Ellie then goes to see an old friend who happens to be a lawyer as well, and she starts asking very odd questions. And this white woman just starts divulging shit. I guess Ellie is also like a master detective and like a social hacker, because she gets this white woman to spill the fucking beans.
Oh, her social and persuasion skills were raised by that jacket that she's wearing.
She's wearing a white jacket.
Yeah, it fooled this white woman into thinking that she looks exactly like someone who she looks nothing like. Like this woman, that happened to me once.
Did you get mistaken from Kerry Washington from Scandal and wearing a white coat?
I got mistaken for a guy that has dreads. I've never had dreads in my entire life, and even the other guy in the room was like, "Huh? No, he was here last week." Like, he didn't have dread. Like, no, dude. Yeah.
Did you look anything like this guy?
No, I didn't. I was black.
And that was enough.
I was black. And that was enough. And apparently the other guy had fucking dreadlocks.
Which, as you can tell, Micah definitely does if you're watching the video. He has them all in a single row down the back of his head. Yeah, so this woman she's talking to, she's like, yeah, I remember David from college. He was married to Deborah. Do you remember Deborah? And Ellie's like, no, I don't remember her. She's like, yeah, she was married to him and he had a crazy temper. But, here's the thing. Deborah's dead. Dun, 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 dun. And then the movie just ham-handedly rewinds back to the beginning of the movie, showing a hand grabbing over that black woman's mouth. And it's like, that's clearly Deborah. And this is clearly the person who killed her. And And
You know why, right? Because even the movie knows that the audience knows that Deborah and Ellie don't look anything alike.
yeah, I was so confused. I was like, how did that white woman think that she looked like her? Okay, that's
Like,
ridiculous.
Oh, we might have to do a quick insert to
Right.
remind people.
Like, does like Nia Long have a cousin or anybody who actually looks like her? Because surely they could have found a black woman who looked more like Nia Long. They just didn't give a fuck.
Could they though?
Similar. I mean, you could find. I mean, you could find like.
I like to think that Nia Long is in a class all by herself.
I'm okay with that. Like, I like to think Beyonce is too, and she's got like her sister looks like her, but like funnier looking.
Damn.
Solange is not ugly. She's attractive, but she's kind of funny looking. She is. She is kind of funny. She is.
All right. Hold on. I gotta Google a picture.
You don't know what Solange looks like? She looks like her funny look.
I do know what.
I think Solange is very attractive, but she's also funny looking. I think Solange Knowles she's just kind of a funny looking person. Like she's got very big features. Like she just does. She's kind of like, I don't think that makes her unattractive, but she's kind of funny looking. She is. Look at Beyonce and look at Solange. Beyonce is more what people would think of as traditionally good looking. Like she's not as quote unquote, in my words, funny looking. Solange is.
Yo, just the fact that you're calling this woman funny looking just sounds.
I
funny.
don't think she's unattractive. I think she's very attractive, but she just has like very large features. What's her name is, I think, is kind of a funny looking person, but I think is really, really attractive. What's her name? She was dating Cory Booker for a while. Dating Cory Booker in quotes. What's her face?
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson. I think Rosario Dawson is gorgeous, but she, by traditional standards, she's got very big. Like, what's that?
Do you think Rosario Dawson is funny?
No,
looking?
I'm saying no. I think Rosario Dawson is gorgeous. I'm saying she has very large features in the same way. Like she does. She does. She has a huge smile. She has huge eyes. Like she does.
Yeah.
Solange has similar features, not as attractive as Rosario Dawson.
Apparently, big features mean you're funny looking.
On certain people, she's got kind of a small head, so she's got big features. She does, but that doesn't mean I think she's unattractive. I like women with big noses. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes they're kind of funny looking. By traditional standards, they are. Again,
I swear to God, this is a Seinfeld episode.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at pictures of Solange and some, like, okay, what's the name I also think is very attractive, but kind of funny looking? The chick from fucking Blackish.
She's funny looking.
She is. I think she's very attractive, but she's funny looking. She is. But her uniqueness is what makes her attractive to me. So yeah, it's the same thing. I would date Solange. I would listen to me. I would allow it. Yeah,
You would do that funny looking girl a favor.
Yeah, of course.
Take her out on a date.
Yes. I'm not a huge fan of her music, but that's just me. It's a little too hippy dippy for my taste, but I think she's talented.
You're hilarious.
Just saying. She'd probably whoop my ass in an elevator. I get it. Before somebody be like, "How dare you?" She'd kick your ass. Yeah, maybe she would. I don't know. I can fight though. So
You want to fight a funny looking?
no, that's not what I said. She'll fuck off.
That's what I heard.
Jay wants to fight Solange. like, wait. How are these narratives getting created? So back at home, the non-funny looking Nia Long is sitting there and she's reading articles about how David's ex-girlfriend was murdered, and she's thinking to herself, he probably did that shit. Meanwhile, David comes to their house at night, uses some sort of hacker device, breaks into their house. He's holding a flashlight that could not be any brighter if he tried. He's walking around their house, checking shit out. He literally goes into their bedroom, and it's like 2 feet away from her.
My wife was like, "Yo, don't y'all have like a spidey sense or something?"
Right,
Like,
yo, I would wake up. I'd be like, I just wake up and start punching, like, get the fuck out of here.
yeah, yo, and I agree. Like yo, I gotta feel like my instincts would be like, "What the fuck is that?" Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna hear you walk around my house, dude.
Right. Especially because you guys are parents, man. Like,
Yeah, parents don't sleep too deeply on anything anymore.
right. You should be trained to be, especially now that you know that your daughter's back in the house and she could be coming in at any time and all that. Like, nah.
Yeah, these motherfuckers are in a deep sleep. Like, it's just the two of them forever. Like, they don't have to deal with no other responsibilities. Yeah, I mean, Marcus is coked up out of his mind on whatever prescription drugs, and apparently Nia Long's life is so good. Maybe they just got finished banging for the 48th time. After taking 2 separate baths. Yeah, she's sleeping pretty heavy. Meanwhile, Brittany comes home.
Before that, because I want to point something out later.
Yes,
he steals a piece of lingerie.
Yes, he does.
Out of Nia Long's like drawer or whatever, and then he hears Brittany coming home at 12:30 and has a hankering for some pop secret,
as one does.
And she comes in and they try to make this like little tense moment. And I've seen enough of these things to know that, well, ain't nothing going to happen here.
Right.
But they try their best to do this little tense moment where she thinks something is there. Her spidey senses is working. She sees something and David grabs a butcher knife and he's ready to kill this girl, right?
Yeah, that'll definitely get the woman you love to be with you by murdering her daughter in cold blood. Jesus. So like Brittany's like, I think I hear something. She's almost about to get butcher knifed. And then she stops because something really important happens in the other room, which is her popcorn is ready. So she just goes and gets her popcorn and goes up to her room. And so David didn't have to, lucky he didn't have to murder a young girl. Well, you know what? For now. For now, he doesn't have to murder a young girl. Then the next night, Marcus, Brittany, and Ellie all sit down to have a very boring white people dinner. Where they're sitting very quietly and having conversation. No one is even laughing. Again, this is a palette swap thriller. They're not even having fried chicken. And
having salad and breadsticks and rice like it's the fucking Olive Garden. Get out of here, man.
So, I'm not eating that for dinner. That seems boring, and there doesn't seem to be any seasoning on that plate. Ellie gets a text message from David, and it's video from the camera at the club when that night that they were hanging out. She drops the phone, and she luckily picks it up right before her daughter gets it. And I'm like, this is not interesting.
This is not good, yo. This isn't good.
No, not at all. Then for some reason, Ellie sends Courtney an email. And Courtney is about to read it, but David walks in on Courtney and he closes the laptop and he's like, I got you some lingerie. And she puts it on.
All right, now.
All right, no, go ahead. All right. No, hold on. I just want to point out before Marcus says what he's going to say, because it's going to be some ignorant shit, and I already know where this is going. Don't at me about the Solange conversation, because this nigga's about to say some fucking horrible shit. Go ahead.
I'm not about to say nothing horrible. I'm about to speak fact, right? Nia Long has a piece of lingerie. Nia Long is built like a grown-ass woman. Courtney is built like a child named Courtney.
That is correct.
How the hell
they fit in like a glove? Not buying it. Not buying it.
Like, come on, yo. Like, come on. Like, that don't work, yo. That don't work.
Yeah. I was like, your titties ain't big enough. Like they just
Like,
not big enough.
like nothing is big enough.
No, she's a thicker woman. Like she looks great.
She is healthy
Yeah.
and super fine.
Yeah.
And Agent 33 from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she's pretty, but you know, she looked like she looked like you could like study biology on her, right? Like she looks like the skeleton that's stuck up in the class.
See.
to Neil.
Yeah, he ain't right. See, he ain't mean. You just mean. I did like that the next day, when David comes out of Courtney's apartment, I guess he gave it to her good enough. She apparently likes to be choked. Okay, interesting. Interesting little side note about Courtney. But I guess he gave it to her so good. She came out. She walked that dude out to the street in a kimono. It was like she didn't even care. It's like broad daylight, and she was like, "Let me walk you to your car, young king. You were amazing last night." And he was like, "I know. I'm a hacker. That's what hackers do." So,
hackers are known for long donging it.
tremendous lovemaking. He's like, I read a lot about it on the internet. That's how I get it on. So it turns out that Ellie is now stalking David to find out where his next move is. So she watches him get walked out by Courtney in her kimono. She then follows David to a golf course where David is playing a game of golf with Marcus. And see, this is where that twist that we talked about should have come in, is that they were both in on it. That should have been the thing. Two crazy niggas together. But no. It's just that David was like, hey, do you want to go to play golf? So he could like be near all of her family and fuck with Ellie from a distance.
Yeah, yo, like I would have taken anything other than what actually happened in this scene, right? Like they allude to the fact that they hint at the fact that like David is gonna bash what's his name's head in with the putter.
Right.
But they don't, dude. Like go all the way, man. Like I'm waiting for this movie to really like go for it.
Right.
Right. And if you want a happy ending, right? Like say this nigga's like say he beats him and leaves him for dead, but it turns out he's not actually dead. And
right, he comes back at the end.
Yeah, he comes back at the end or whatever, right? Like, but like I need this movie to go to have fun, man. This movie's not having fun. There's one person having a little bit of fun, and it's Omar Epps. And he ain't even having that much fun because he don't get to bash people's brains in with putters.
Yeah, that would have actually been really cool if he had just fucking like beat the brakes off of him right there and then just drove off.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, that actually would have worked. I would have actually dug that.
Then Ellie has like more skin in the game because like she's
right.
Because right now she's not. Right now her motivations for stalking him aren't like they don't really make too much sense to me. I mean, I guess she's trying to prove to her friend that he's not who he is. But like, if he were to assault her husband, like then she could be like empowered for revenge or whatever. You know what I mean? And then it could be a clash between the two of them. Like this,
there's a lot of, that's what I'm saying. Like the basis of this movie, while dumb, if you rewrote a couple of key points, you could have actually really made something work.
You could have had fun.
Right. It wouldn't have been a great movie, but it would have been more fun.
Yeah.
So at this point, we see David. David finishes up his game with Marcus, and Ellie watches David as he follows their daughter into some sort of hotel or whatever. Which was really weird. And so then like David, or excuse me, Ellie goes in to look at this, find out why David had been in there. And I honestly blacked out on this whole part. I don't remember any of this.
So she stalks him to his apartment. She waits all day for him to leave, and then she goes in and says, "Oh, I was just in there with David Hammond. I forgot my stuff. We got a freak on, but I forgot my stuff. Can you let me in?" So she goes in. The clerk does not do her job, and she gives the key to this total stranger. And Ellie goes up and starts snooping around, trying to find stuff that she can use to prove to her friend that David is a bastard. She goes and she finds a server room in his San Francisco apartment.
Yeah, of course.
And she finds.
I mean, who
laptop.
doesn't have one, right?
Apparently. And she finds a laptop, and she opens the laptop. And first of all, the laptop is, he doesn't turn it off, right? Like it's on as soon as you like open it. And this master hacker has an easily guessable password and all of his incriminating information on the desktop, nigga.
Not encrypted drives. The password is Ellie_Warren.
No, the password is Ellie underscore
Brooks.
her maiden name.
Oh, Brooks. Yeah, excuse me. That's dumb.
She got that shit on a second try. Like, look, I know this guy's obsessed, but he's also a professional hacker, guys. Like, you're gonna have use a password that's got uppercase letters, lowercase letters, special characters,
Numbers.
and a number. Like that.
This dude's password had one special character. That's it. Wow.
So he comes in.
Apparently, I'm a master hacker, by the way. My passwords are more complex than this.
Yeah, they are actually.
Yeah.
So she is like, oh, I got this incriminating evidence, right? All of a sudden, David comes back home, and David he comes in, his spider sense is off, right? Because he's got
Nigga, I blacked out on all of this. I swear to God, yo, I don't remember any of this in the movie. I don't remember any of this.
He has an island in his kitchen.
I'm watching this for the first time with you guys.
He has an island in his kitchen, right? He puts the thing down. Ellie hides, but she hides on the other side of the
what
island.
kind of Roger Rabbit or like Bugs Bunny bullshit is this? Like, he's a quarter of a foot away.
Yo, the island of a kitchen is not so long that you can't see a human being on the other side of it. I don't care how low they're stooping.
No.
Like it's just so silly to me. It's like a cartoon. You know what I mean? After he gets a call, right? Because contrivance. He gets a call from Courtney and is like, "Oh yeah, babe, I'm on my way over there." And so Ellie then escapes, and she's like, "Girl, I got proof that I was right. Dude, I told you he ain't good, girl."
I mean, look. When the dude I told you is come, you got to call people right away. I get that. You got to let them
know. And he was like, he got pictures of me, girl. He got pictures of me and in all kinds of weird, uncompromising situations. And I'm going to text them to you.
It's me and Marcus dancing on the beach. It's crazy. Like, come on.
She got him when we got into them tubs on the beach. Remember that girl? And David confronts her about it. And he was like, "You shouldn't be going through people's phones."
Yeah, buddy. That's a classic line of a nigga who's about to fuck you up.
And this was the scene that I was talking about before, right? where
I'm sorry, this is where I come out of the blackout scene where he smashed her head up against the wall. I was like,
so
Jesus.
so right before that, she says, "Why do you have pictures of Ellie on your computer?"
right.
And he says, "You know, I told you we were we were, old friends." I'm like, wait a minute. 2 days ago, when y'all were at Ellie's house, you just said you met for the first time. Like,
right.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Which is it, nigga?
yeah. Well,
And I'm talking to the director.
right. Like,
which is it, nigga?
right. You can't just be like, oh, all of a sudden they knew each other in under Courtney's circumstances, because that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Because then he tries to pivot. And she doesn't call him on that, obviously, but he tries to pivot and he's like, well, Janice asked me to follow her because she found it weird that she was leaving the firm so soon. And she's like, her old boss? Why would her boss? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then he was just like, nah, come here a second. And he slammed her head against the wall and broke out.
Then he choke slammed her and shit.
He's like, I gotta go.
And again, this movie got no bite to it, man. Like,
that's the right way of saying it. Absolutely.
This character should have died. And not that, I need a bunch of women dying in movies to, further plot. Like, that's an old trope, but like,
right.
Know the movie you're in, guys. Like, this character should have died.
Yeah, Courtney should have definitely died. Instead, someone else died, which was weird and unnecessary.
Right. And instead, fucking boyfriend dies. I don't even know his name. He ain't say what 2 words.
Right. Courtney is at least an invested character.
Right.
Also Deborah the secretary gets killed.
Yeah, the secretary. You don't even know the secretary's name.
No.
Like, that's like all right, yo. Like, this movie it doesn't hit, yo. Like, it tries to be like, fatal affair. Where the fatalities at, nigga? Bunch of people that we don't even know their names.
Right. Yeah. It's like when they came up with the name of this movie, they put a bunch of words in a bowl and picked out two words, because it's like Fatal Attraction, like, nah. Basic Instinct, nah. Basic Affair, nah. Fatal Instinct, nah. Fatal Affair, that's it. Like, that's all they did. It's just like two random, it's like word generators.
Yeah,
so at Courtney's apartment, this is where I reemerge from my, like, I swear to God, I just blacked out that entire 15-minute block. I just don't remember any of that. I was like, when did she go to David's apartment? I just don't remember it at all, because all of it is useless. My brain will purge this movie immediately after we hit stop on this episode. But Ellie shows up at Courtney's apartment and she's like, girl, I got the notes. And she finds Courtney knocked the fuck out. She calls the police. Police show up. I found the black detective weird.
Was she funny looking?
No, I actually found her very attractive, actually. But no, fuck you.
Is it weird that there are so many black people in San Francisco?
Yes, I think that's what it is. I was like, the detective was black too? Wow. Okay.
Let me tell you something.
Have they been to San Francisco before?
Right. I love San Francisco. It ain't that many black people in San Francisco.
No, because we fucking afford.
Trey from our fan group. That's it. That's the only black person in San Francisco.
Really? Trey from our fan group is rich. I just assume.
He must be.
Or homeless. It's only two options. This thing is homeless or he's rich. Trey, send us money. Shout out to him. Then so she gets to Courtney's house. She sees Courtney's all fucked up. They call the police. A black cop shows up, which is weird. A black detective. And then Marcus shows up and he's like, all right, what happened? Is everything okay? Or is Courtney going to be okay or whatever? And Ellie's like, look, I'll tell you everything. Just take me home. And so we cut to a scene. I guess they've spoken after they got home, and she told him everything about David. And again, this is your point earlier about open communication. Like, Marcus, in the midst of a stalker and all such shit, Marcus is pissed. He's like, how the fuck you can talk to all these other people at your job and you can't talk to me? What the fuck is your problem? I'm like, this Batman is outside trying to kill us, my nigga. Can we concentrate on this shit? He's like, no, we need to deal with this issue right here, right now. So then we cut to a scene that is just class warfare, I would argue, where I assume rich professional hacker David kills a homeless man and poses his body as if it's him. I've never seen such hate for the homeless since American Psycho. This is insane.
When he does, he has a note. He has a note confessing to all the crimes and shit. Like, all right, I probably wouldn't have died. I understand your plan. I wouldn't have confessed to the crimes.
No, because you can't come back from that.
Right. Like, knowing that you were still alive, like, even if they, what if they do find you?
Right.
You just confessed all these crimes, right?
That was stupid.
But who knows if they'll find you, because the detective work that went into this, where they just ruled this as a dead body, like, well, the clothes were the same. So
he left a note. Wow. Okay.
The clothes were the same, and he left a note. Well, what about his dental records? What are those?
They'll be coming back in a week, but we're just going to assume that it's him. That seems like some shoddy police work. Apparently, he lit the guy on fire.
Yeah.
They're like, well,
that's how people kill themselves, by the way. That's how people kill themselves, because it was a suicide, right? Because he left a suicide note. So that's how people kill themselves, by setting themselves on fire.
Immolating themselves. That's not
what?
Is he a Buddhist monk in Vietnam? What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. Like, come on, yo. Come on.
Oh, well, he obviously killed himself by lighting himself on fire. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Case closed. Sorry, we're good. Everybody go home. Look, I don't know that this is true, but according to this movie, black detectives in San Francisco are the worst detectives on the face of the planet. I do not understand why the fuck you would believe that was David. That seems crazy. The clothes were the same. Well, there you go. I guess that says it all. So from there, they're like, oh, case closed. Everybody's good. Then, Marcus, I guess he forgives. He forgives. He forgives Ellie. He's like, nothing in my life made sense until I met you. Then it all clicked, and why is she shaking his head?
You cheated on me, yo. You cheated on me, yo. You cheated on me. You cheated on me.
Even after all this, you're not gonna stand by your woman? I don't think you're that heartless. She's got a stalker out here.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know.
I'd be like, I need to. I would be like, okay, did the dental records come back? Is this dude really dead? Because if he's really dead, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Because that would be hard, right? Your wife makes a mistake. All right, she didn't sleep with him. She emotionally cheated.
As she was literally as close as you could be to physically doing it.
I mean, I feel like she probably left that part out, right? She probably wasn't like, and then he almost raw dogged me on the sink of,
yeah, and then we went into the bathroom, and then I saw his penis, and I'm like, what the
fuck? I like to think that's exactly the conversation that they had. So we were in the bathroom of the Paradox, right? And and this nigga was about to raw dog me. But then I decided, you know what? I'm a good wife. I'm gonna say no.
I think this is a prequel to all the other Stephen Bishop roles.
Yeah, no, they get a divorce, and he's like, "Nah, yo, fuck that. You're never leaving the house without permission." Like he just starts whiling. Yeah, till death do us part. That's the sequel. That's the direct sequel to this. Wait, is that the one where she goes and lives like in the one town over or some shit?
Yep. And finds Tay Diggs or whoever.
That's right. That nigga stealing lemons off of her lemon tree. Yeah, that movie was so bad. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I feel like you got to watch both of these back to back. So, he forgives her and he's like, my life just does not make sense without you, which is a shitty reason to stay together. So everything is great. They're living a good life. Everything's awesome. For some reason, Brittany is still with that mop-headed boy, and everything is good. Ellie gets a text message from Deborah, or not Deborah, her secretary, who says, I think the secretary's name was Deborah too, by the way. I think so. I'll find out in a second. So she goes to the office because she's like, oh, the text is like, oh, I need you to fill out some documents. And she's like, all right, cool. So she runs back to her downtown office, and she walks in looking for the papers. She immediately, when she walks in, seems weird. Oh, I'm sorry. Her secretary's name is Linda. And she's like, Linda, I'm here, even though all the lights are off. That seems weird. So she walks in and she finds Linda has been murdered, which is not good. And then she gets a call, and David is like, you left them alone. And so she's like, oh my God. And so she starts heading back to her house. She calls the black cop, who apparently never checked up on the dental records from that case. I guess she just let it go. And she calls her and she's like, oh, he's trying to kill my family. He's coming for us. He's still alive. And so the cop is like, all right, I'll send people out. And so she does. Then Ellie gets home and finds little mophead boy. He's been murdered. Why? Why did they kill him?
Because you got to show, you finally have to show someone die. But the movie is too scared to have any of their main characters killed. Like the daughter is sitting right there, right? Like you got to have stakes for these people.
I mean, you do. The daughter seems extreme.
Fine, I'll give you that. The husband should have died. But this movie,
I mean that would have been a heck of a twist, considering like they just made up. Like that's, you kind of pull the rug from under her.
Yeah, like this character needs to be punished for her fucking infidelity, right? Like that's Micah has a real problem with it. The husband needs to die so that she can be punished for her infidelity. But like I'm saying,
I think it should have been Courtney. I think you're right the first time though.
So, like somebody close to her should have died. Somebody close to her should have paid for this, to make her like to give her some skin in the game. I just don't feel like this movie was very scared to do something.
Yeah, I feel like we need to be consulted the next time they do one of these black thrillers, because no, people got to die. Like significant people have to die. That's what makes it good, right? That's why it works. So then Forget Me Nots plays distorted on a record player. I don't know how David knew she had a record player, but I guess that's just spying or whatever. And of course it's the version that he broke the record in that store or the restaurant. And he's like, God, this is such a good song. So he's trying to do the Jordan Peele thing where you twist a song that everybody knows and makes it, scary. It didn't work. It didn't work at all.
Oh, it made it sound stupid.
Yeah. So Ellie grabs a knife while David is dancing. He's getting his old man two-step on. And she's like, yeah, he's like, you and I could be together and all this other shit. And she's like, oh yeah, word. As she's just moving closer and closer. And then she tries to stab him. And I don't know if you know, but because computers are nerdy, computer guys also learn how to do kung fu and shit like that because they like, Japanese shit. And
all you got to do is watch a YouTube clip. That'll tell. YouTube has tutorials for everything.
Yeah, you can learn karate in an afternoon. You can get your ass beat, but you can learn. She pushes David off of her rather easily. For a judo master or whatever, and then she picks up a knife after knocking him out with a vase and doesn't stab him.
Why didn't she stab him?
Just stab this nigga, Stab this nigga,
That's it.
Pow, pow, pow. Done.
Could literally have stabbed him anywhere, and
It slowed him down, at least.
Right. You
Like,
don't want to kill him.
Okay, fine. All right, I get it. You don't want to kill him. You don't want to be responsible for that. You know what you do? It's very easy. Slit that Achilles tendon, my nigga. Be all over. He ain't going nowhere. He'll never play football again.
He ain't going nowhere for a whole season.
Yeah, he's done. Slip both of them. Bop, bop. Oh, shit, you got me. It's over. It's over, right? Right on the back of the leg. Game fucking over with. And then I would have stuck the knife right in his ass. Bah! Wake up to that shit. Fuck him. Yeah. This nigga trying to kill you and your whole family. And I'll just run away. Nah, fuck that. Hit your ass with the jail stat. Like, hit you 14 times in 30 seconds. They run outside. They see a cop. They're like, yeah, it's a cop. And then they notice the cop's throat is slit. But nobody seems to be that bothered by it. It's like, man.
They are black. So it's like, well, he was a white cop. So.
Black lives matter, my nigga. Blue lives don't. They just bounced. They at this point, for some dumb reason, Ellie and the rest of her family split up. Why? Why would you do that? This nigga is at the house. Your wife is the object of his affection and obsession. I'm not leaving my wife anywhere alone. No. Fuck that.
She, while calling for help for the cop who was murdered, she accidentally activates the bat signal and summons David.
Yo, that moment where he raises his head is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He's just like, oh my God. He's like, dan, dan, dan. He just literally shows up and just raises his head. And then he grabs Ellie out of the car, and drags her off. Marcus yells to Brittany to drive away. And I'm like, I'm gonna need you to stay here. Just lock the doors.
No, drive away and go call the cops. We'll go get some cops.
I'd be like, no, I need you to stay right here. I'm gonna drag this nigga to the driveway. I need you to hit him. This is a family affair. This is a team effort. Marcus tries to fight David. David just hits his ass with some like jujitsu shit and throws Joe Budden's ass right off the stairs, right onto his back. Fucked him his whole day up. While he's doing that, Ellie sees an opening and just stabs David right in the stomach. Solid move. I learned from Face Off that you want to stab and twist the knife, but that's just me. Which would be really hard, by the way, to twist the knife once in the body, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care what Nicolas Cage says. That's a difficult move. So David, who is now really pissed because he's been stabbed, gets the gun from the police officer who he killed. By the way, I love how Ellie didn't think to grab the gun, but whatever. Then
she's not a nice guy.
Yeah, this guy's a real nice guy. Ellie and Marcus run up what seems like an endless flight of stairs, and Ellie leaves her husband behind, who just got judo flipped off a fucking flight of stairs. She leaves him behind and she turns around like, Marcus, And she turns around, and there's David. Dun, dun, dun. And he's like, look, girl, I'm not going to shoot you. Like everything's going to be cool. We can start over. And she's like, even now he's abandoning you. And, he's talking about his husband.
This nigga is spouting fucking Boys to Men lyrics while pointing a gun at this woman.
Was he?
He's like, please put the gun down. I'm trying to be funny.
Oh.
He's like, put the gun down. And he's like, girl, can't you see we're meant to be together?
3 Davids coming up behind him and shit.
Even now, he's abandoning you. It's like, Jesus Christ, Joe.
Boys to Men. Wow. Those guys. They're still around, aren't they?
3 of them.
What happened to the other one?
He died? He had MS. No, I think he had MS and he left the group because it was too much.
Oh, damn, that sucks. So
this nigga's like, let me make it up to you. I know I put you through a lot. Let me make it up to you. We'll start over. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, I don't trust you, nigga. Get out of here. You're literally brandishing a weapon. He's like, why won't you let me love you, girl? Shoot you. So he pulls out the gun and he's giving her the Boys to Men lyrics or whatever. Out of nowhere, like an RKO, here comes Marcus, and he just grabs his ass up, and Marcus and David fight. This fight is terrible.
One guy has a motorcycle accident. That's the excuse that his character has, right?
Yeah, and the other guy is a judo fucking master, right? Like,
yeah,
kung fu hockey master.
The other guy's Batman. So,
at one point, Ellie hits David with like driftwood. And then David literally fucking yeeted her into the woods. He was like done with that. And then he proceeds to continue fighting Marcus. And then Marcus gets a nice little judo flip on David. And David is starting to hang off a cliff. He almost died. And for some reason, Ellie tried to save him.
Yeah,
that's where I divorce you. I push both of y'all asses right off this cliff. I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll be a single dad. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, yo, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. She was like, I got you. Yo. Like, what?
No.
After all this?
I'd be like, I got you. And then I would have pulled out a knife and slit his throat and pushed his ass over there. Fuck out of here. I think it would have been an awesome ending. And no bullshit. If Marcus pushed both of them off and was like, right before pushing off, Ellie was like, yeah, I lied. I can't live with you after what you did, and just was like, yeet, and pushed them both off. You can have each other. And then he just walks off, walks over to his daughter and does the ending of Thriller. You remember when Michael Jackson looks into the camera and he's got the fucking like the evil eyes? I think that would be an amazing ending. That's a Carl Weber ending.
Yeah.
That's a Carl Weber ending, man. Like that's an ending you don't see coming. Like that would be dope.
Hell yeah. Give the Arnold Schwarzenegger line from Total Recall, consider this a divorce. And then fucking kick both of them down and shit.
I think it would have been dope. And then just like show the camera of them like dead on the bottom beach, like laying on each other, almost like lovers. But like, yeah, there you go. Fuck both of them.
Shit.
I think that would have been a great ending. But instead, we got a shitty ending to the conflict, which is David just falls. He didn't even like fall and hang on another second and try to get her. Like, it wasn't even like.
Yeah, he could have even been like, as he fell, he could have been like, I love you, or some shit, right? Like,
no, it was just like, that was it. I was like, damn, is that it? Is he really dead?
Like, hey, this movie, and all right, and after that, the next 2 months later, her daughter goes back to college, and they sell the murder home and move back to San Francisco. The end. This movie has so much potential, man. to be like a good bad movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like
It's a bad
just
bad.
like it's mediocre at best.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if this movie didn't if this movie wasn't so afraid of, like, the most lethal thing about this movie is the title. And that's not good, man.
It really isn't. Yeah, I feel like we should be able to punch up some of these scripts.
Like, I know we say all the time we could write a movie. Like, if it's a movie like this,
Oh, 100% better. 100%. But again, the basis, if you could just change a couple parts, the basis for this could have been enough to get a good bad movie. Like a cult classic kind of movie. But I'm telling you, if you would have changed it so that he was like, consider this a divorce and had killed both of them, I think people would talk about that. They would have been like, yo, that ending was wild. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just subvert the narrative. Like if everybody's expecting David to die and Ellie and Marcus and Brittany to, go along and be fine, change it. Change the ending. I would.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him, them subverting the narrative, him killing both of them, and then at the end you find out 2 months later he's dating Courtney or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or this would actually be a better move. Have him dating somebody who actually does look like Nia Long, right? Because then it connects back to what the white woman said, he had an obsession with you, and he dated somebody who's just like you. Have him dating somebody who looks like you.
And then it starts over.
Right.
Yo,
You could have been creative. Yeah, I think you're right. The movie is scared to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sucks, man.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. So there you have it. Fatal Affair. We could have made it better. Again, if they want to do more of these movies, people should recommend us to punch up the script. Just saying.
There you go.
Yep, we got ideas, guys.
If you people listening know of any movies like this that are actually good bad movies, let us know, because we'll watch them.
Yeah. blackonblackcinema.com/submit for your recommendations. Also, make sure you check out blackonblackcinema.com/premium. Sign up for premium content. We've got a bunch of shows behind the paywall where we tell embarrassing stories, talk politics, that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun, and it's only $5 a month or $50 for the full year. And we will see you guys next week for a preview episode for episode 180.
See you.
All right. Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.